Welcome to day 19 of our school year. We've almost completed our second row. Let's go ahead and get down our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days and we're on day 19. So we want to look at our numerator 19 and decide if it's prime or composite. One way is to check our prime number sieve. 19 is prime. So that means we only need to check our denominator for our prime factorization. 19 is already done. Just have to get our denominator. So hopefully the denominator is getting a little easier because it's the same every single time we do it. Let's see, let's try 3, because 1 plus 8 plus 0 is 9, and 9 is a multiple of 3, so 3 is a factor. I can get 6 groups of 3 out of 18, and then I have my placeholder. I can do 3 again, 2 groups of 3 out of 6. And placeholder. Can do 5. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20. And I can 2 and 2. 2 is prime, so we're done. So let's go ahead and list our prime factorization from least to greatest. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So prime factorization has to do with the multiplying, that expression there, and all the factors are prime numbers. Now let's see if there's anything in common between 19, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5. Do you see anything in both? No. So that means our greatest common factor is 1. Okay, so let's make our groups of 1. Done. Let's go ahead and count up. How many total groups of 1 do we have? 180. How many groups of 1 are shaded in? 19. So let's go ahead and prove this with our algorithm. So we're going to divide 180 by 1. We're going to divide 19 by 1. So 1 times 100 is 100. Number's the same. 0 is a game. More on top. No need to stop. Okay, we take that up here. That 80. And 1 times 80 is 80. Number's the same. 0 is a game. Add our partial quotients. 100 plus 80 is 180. Now let's do 19. 19 times 10 is 10. More on top, no need to stop. Bring the 9 up. 1 times 9 is 9. Number's the same, 0 is the game. Add our partial quotients, we get 19. Still need to check with our divisor times our quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for each one and the identity property of addition says it's going to stay the same, we don't need to add the 0. But what we end up with is the identity property of multiplication. This is why when you divide by 1 it stays the same also, because of that inverse. But here, when you multiply by 1, it stays the same. So 180, 19, that checks on our dividends here. Check, check. So our fraction is definitely 19 out of 180. Now let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 1, week 5. Today is 9/4/19. And our fraction for today is 19/180th, because 19 is a prime number. It is not a factor of 180, so our greatest common factor was 1. When we make groups of 1, you don't have to get out your number line. But But I like to show you that it's already there, right there. 19 out of 180. There's nothing lined up below it because that is the simplest form or the equivalent fraction in lowest terms. So go ahead and erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.